Simple Car Guy here, and today we are checking out this BOSSCOMM IFIX435 all-system scanner with free lifetime updates. I'm gonna try to skip all of the fluff and just show you things you actually want to see in this scanner. So let's go. All right, we're gonna start from the very beginning. We're gonna plug it in, see how long it takes for it to turn on, and while it's turning on, talk about its construction. It's fairly basic. It's a simple construction. It's on, by the way, so that's how quick it loads. There's some silicone here on the side, so it's nice and grippy. The screen is decently bright, and it shows you exactly what you need to see. The colors are vivid, so even in the sun, it's not that difficult to see. There is a bit of reflection on it, but in person, it actually looks pretty good. So actually, impressed with the way it is, especially for it being a very inexpensive scanner. This is not a touch screen. Just to be clear, this is not a touch screen. Let's take off this protective film to make sure we're getting the best experience. Once everything loads up, you have a few options on here. You have your settings and some information about the scanner. Actually, we're going to go into the settings and turn off the beeps. Of course, you can change the language and units in here from metric to imperial, things like that. And there you go, no more beeps, because those are very annoying. You also have updates. This unit does have Wi-Fi, which is pretty crazy for this kind of old school unit. It does have Wi-Fi, and it will update over your Wi-Fi. It even connected to my 5G network, so no issues there. It is pretty slow when it's updating over the Wi-Fi, but at least you don't have to install any software and install it through your computer, so that's pretty cool. Of course, you have your standard OBD2 functionality. Most scanners have this. This will do all the cool stuff that you can expect from standard OBD2 functionality, live data. You can do IM readiness, you can do freeze data, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be showing you that in this video. We're going to go straight for diagnose. This is what this scanner is all about, so that's what we're going to check out. And one more thing, for updating, you don't have to create any accounts, no emails, no sign up required, nothing. You just connect to the Wi-Fi and you download it, and that's going to be free for the lifetime of this unit, which is kind of amazing. Most of the other units will make you pay a monthly or yearly fee after about a year or 2 years, depending on kind of what they offer. So yeah, good so far. Once you go into diagnose, we have American, European, Chinese, and Asian cars. So if you go into American, here are all of the cars you can work on. We have Chinese cars, so there's that. And we have, of course, some Asian cars. It basically supports most cars that have OBD2 functionality from starting from like 1996. So let's go to European. Of course, we are in a BMW, so we are going to select that. It loads up that application pretty quick, and then we are presented with two options, automatic selection and manual. If you go into automatic, it's going to automatically select the vehicle that you are in, or you can go to manual and then do it this way. So for example, we're going to X drive, because X series, because we're in a BMW X7, find the chassis number, which is G07, then find the specific model, which is going to be X-Drive 40i B58 Auto, and this is the US version of the vehicle. Then if you know the manufacturer's date of your vehicle, you can select that as well, or kind of be as close as you can, probably somewhere around there for me. Now we're going to hit OK and let this thing communicate with the ECU. So that took about 20 seconds, so not the fastest when it's communicating with the car. It's very fast between the menus, so this is built on Linux, so it's pretty quick, jumping through the menus. Communicating with the car, not always the fastest, so something to keep in mind. Here we have another two options. We have quick test, so this is going to scan all of the modules, or you can go into system selection. So you have drive and all of the modules within the drive system. You have your chassis modules here as well. And of course, we have the body modules here also, so 23 just in this one. This will support all modules on all systems on your vehicle, so that's what makes this scanner stand out from the others. Anyway, let's do a quick test and see what it can find on this vehicle. And we are done. And this did take a while. This was about a minute and a half. So it does take some time for it to scan all of the modules. Granted, this vehicle has 33 different modules. So that's clearly a ton of different things to look through or to scan for this scanner. And you can see all of the modules that it has scanned. It has found some DTC, so some codes in some of them. So let's go back to that body module. that we saw at the beginning. And there it is, the body domain controller. So we're going to go in here, and we here can actually read those DTCs. These are going to be BMW or vehicle specific codes, which is what is important. And here it is, we have the BMW specific code. That's, whatever it means. Of course, you can look that up in the future if you need to, or you can clear those codes if you've already fixed the issue. It's clearing that code. It has been successfully cleared. So now if you go to read that code again, it should be gone, unless, and there you go, there's nothing there, unless it's a permanent code, which is also possible if the issue has not been fixed. Anyway, you can go to data list to see some of the live data that this scanner can read from every single module. This is the big ticket number for this scanner. It can read live data on every single module of every system of the vehicle that you're scanning. One thing to note is that it's not the same as seeing live data from standard OBD2 functionality. Those are generic PIDs that are only for engine and sometimes transmission. This will read codes on every single module. That's the big difference here. After about another minute, we can see the data list, and these are all of the categories within just that one module that we can go in and scan, which is pretty fantastic. So just that one module has 32 different data lists that we can go in and view. You might be asking, why? Why do I want to see this? Well, the thing is, if you're working on troubleshooting something, for example, this button is not working, you want to know if it's actually the button that's broken, if it's the wiring that's broken between the button and the next point in the system, or if it's the module, or if it's something else. And in fact, let's do that now. So if you go to steering wheel heating, we're going to go inside that, and there's all of this information that can be available for just that part of the list. So we're going to select, well, why not just select all of it, I guess. So we're going to select it, hit OK, and there you go. So now it says that the button is switched off. This function is fitted on this vehicle, so very useful, and it's not consuming any power. So what's going to happen if I press this button? Well, let's see. So I just pressed the button, and there you go. Right away, it's telling us that we're using 7 amps of power. So just to heat up the steering wheel, the status is now on, so we know that the function is turned on. Very, very cool. So things like that are super useful. I'm going to turn it off because it's actually kind of warm in here. Very, very useful to have these kind of features where you can actually see what's happening. You can do the same thing for all of these buttons, or for the horn, or for whatever. Any function on the vehicle, you can track it with this live data. And that's basically what makes this a good scanner for troubleshooting this type of work. Of course, we also have reports. So we can go to report or quick erase. Quick erase is going to erase all of the codes from all of the modules. So this is great if you disconnected the battery, or if you've been doing a lot of work and you need to just clear all of it. You can do that and then just see what's left in order to actually troubleshoot. But let's see what kind of report it does for us. Well, it just creates them in a list like that for you. For each one, it shows you the actual code. Makes it a little bit easier. You have to click on each one. Exiting out of here, we're going to go all the way back and just go into system selection. These are all of those same modules that we saw earlier. So if you don't want to wait a minute or a minute and a half for this thing to scan the entire vehicle, you can of course just go in and select the specific module or specific system that you want to work on, and just get that information, see much quicker. Of course, you can graph them individually if you like, or you can select up to 2 items and then graph those together. So if you press the FN button or press OK, we are gonna start seeing all of that data. So I'm gonna rev up the engine a little bit, and then you can see the revolutions are changing here at the very top. The refresh rate seems pretty all right. And we can zoom in or zoom out. So we can zoom in and then move it down. So we can adjust how this actually works. So who is this scanner actually for? Well, maybe they should add a home button. I think the scanner is for a DIY mechanic that's working on their own cars, that possibly has multiple vehicles in their fleet, or helping their friends out and things like that. This is not a vehicle specific scanner, so that's why some of the functionality is limited, like you can't do activation tests or programming and things like that. But for what it does well for many different vehicles. It's also simple to use. It has free updates, has graphing capabilities, it's inexpensive, supports most vehicles. The cons are, well, it's not that fast and it's a little bit slow to update over Wi-Fi, but honestly, how often are you actually going to do that? But there is no computer needed, which is pretty sweet. It's also free and will not come with a fee in the future. So yeah, pretty cool scanner. Check out the links in the description if you'd like to support the channel, or if you have any other questions, leave those down below in the comments. I would love to answer those for you as long as it's something that I can actually answer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!